Okay, teacher here. We're going to learn about light, as in like colors. So we have a visible spectrum, don't we? Like the visible spectrum is what the naked eye can see. And no, naked does not mean it took his clothes off. It just means VI. At VI. So yeah, there's the spec waves have something called a wavelength. This is a wave. This is a wavelength. You you that arrow I just drew there is the wavelength. I'm sorry for the really horrible handwriting. That's the wavelength. The wavelength that the human eye can see is 400 nanometers. Nm is nanometers to 700 nanometers. No, thank you. And by the way, if you're wondering what the heck are nanometers, a nanometer is 1 billion. Note a billion has 9 zeros. A billion nanometers make a meter. So yeah, that's how that works. Yeah. So the longest wavelength in my spectrum is red. Red has the longest wavelength, and blue is at the lowest area and has the shortest wavelength. Therefore, that is will explain why the sky is blue. This is an image of the sky, by the way. So the sky is blue because light has different wavelengths. So let's say this is red. Red will bounce off there. Yellow will bounce off there. Orange here. Green here. They all bounce off at different areas, which is why they appear red, yellow, orange, green, blue, indigo, and violet. But because blue has the shortest wavelength, I'm sorry, blue, you're not going anywhere. Blue isn't gonna really go far. It may go that far and just, I don't know, stay in the atmosphere. And that is why the sky always appears blue. It will disappear soon. But yeah, the sky will appear blue. Then there's some colors just on the border of it, but poor types of light. They didn't make it into a visible spectrum, so they cannot be seen by the human eye. But I mean, it's a good thing, because looking at them directly is like looking at the sun. It's dangerous. So on the next lowest piece of light is UV. And in case you're wondering what that stands for ultra with an L, LTRA, ULTRA, violet. Ultraviolet is emitted from the sun, and imagine this is the Earth's atmosphere. UV, tons of UV is stored in there. That is a U, by the way. So that is so because it's so dangerous, which it is stored in the atmosphere, and it is dangerous because it is an ionizing radiation. And you're probably asking me, what does that mean? That's radiation, by the way. Well, ionizing radiation can mutate the cell. This is a cell, by the way, guys. It can mutate the cell, and this can lead to cancer, which can lead to death. So, yeah, that's why you should never stay in the tanning bed too long, because the lights on the tanning bed, they release UV only a tiny bit, so it mutates the cells in your skin to produce a darker pigment, which is why people come out with tan skin. That's the whole point of tanning beds. And then the next long wavelength after red is the one and only infrared. Infrared is used in heating and remote controls and everything, which is why I advise you, do not look up in front of a remote control, which is here, because that's where the infrared radiation is shining. It goes all the way to the TV. Let's say you're watching The Simpsons. I don't know how to do it. But anyway, you get my point. It sends signals to the TV, and it's very dangerous, and yeah, can damage your eyes. So just please don't do it. You're gonna regret it. So yeah, that's about the visible light spectrum and some of the other lights. So again, I hope you liked it. And just to test you, a question. What is the visible what is the wavelength spectrum that do be visible to the human eye? Oh, but yeah, let me just widen out that question. So I'll give you a few seconds to work that out. Okay, so the wavelength spectrum that do be visible to the human eye, 480 nanometers to, no, not 400, 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers spectrum. I mean, no, how many nanometers make a meter? I'll give you a second to work that out. The answer is 1 billion nanometers do make a meter. And another way of presenting this is standard form, which I may or may not cover in a later video, 1 times 10 to the power of 9, because it has 9 zeros. But yeah, hope you like the video and see you around. And as always, request anything.